anything you're feeling, the real lesson is that that's what you're going to be getting from other people. And if you're looking to, increase empathy and increase knowledge of other people and connection, getting that for yourself is the only real way you're going to be able to connect to others in that way.
Hey everybody, I am Dr. Kristen Donnelly of the Good Doctors of Abbey Research. At Abbey Research, we deeply believe that curiosity can change the world because it's the only thing that ever has. All the ways that we've moved forward as humanity has started with the question of what if it could be different, or who is that person over there and can I get to know them? It all goes back to curiosity. In service of that, this series is also about curiosity. It's called Welcome to My World, and I get the incredible privilege of chatting to fascinating folks from all over the world about something about their lives that we should know more about. And because every human is different than me and every other human, we end up learning something really cool every single time. Today's guest is absolutely no exception. I am joined today by Amelia Felbinger, who is a certified speaker and professional development coach and who focuses on leadership. She spent over a decade performing on New York stages, which is not for the faint of heart or body. So excited to hear about that. Followed by years in sales and leadership coaching, Amelia has the unique ability to take an actor's skill set and translate it into an effective toolbox for real life. I can't wait to hear more about that. I know how I think of my incredibly prolific high school theater career and how it prepared me for this profession. Can't wait to hear from an actual professional. She uses her expertise to elevate professional development for leaders and corporate executives. Lord knows we all need it. As she and I speak, it is the end of August, and so she is booked to speak on the TEDx College of New York stage coming up this winter, which I believe might have happened by the time you watch this, but I'll double check that. And I 100% know she's going to crush it because she crushes everything she does. And she's developing a book and courses to further empower people with her philosophies, which we will hear more about today. Full disclosure, Amelia and I met in the Big Talk Academy, which you have heard before, and we got to share a virtual stage in January of 2021, which was a true honor. Amelia, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited, Kristen. You're such an honor to know, and I adore the work you do. It is so important, the work you are doing in the world and the community you are building and the people you are connecting. So it is an absolute honor and joy to be here today.
I always love a mutual admiration society. It's so much fun. So let's dive right into it. Actor's Toolbox and leadership.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about that.
So I am just a growth addict, and who I love working with are the people who are invested in and interested in their growth. And I do funnel it into leadership because leadership applies across anything. It doesn't matter if you're leading a corporation, your family, even leading a single conversation. These are principles which just elevate the experience and increase depth of presence and influence, which we all would like more of. So I think about why we're hungry to grow, and in my experience, it's because we can feel more alive and really be able to feel our purpose and live in that empowered connection to ourselves and others. There are many, many, many paths to this, right? And one of them, which you can really use with the efficiency of an arrow, is thinking as an actor does and applying certain actor tools, not because you're trying to be an actor, but because the way that we think and do things and approach work can just be such an asset for you in your life. So why is this really? It's because when you apply the lens of an actor's brain, you really gain a unique ability to cut through a lot of very limiting mental noise and actually change or begin to change an emotional state from something that might be unwanted to something wanted, the things that we are stuck in, our patterns. And even just spending, a moment ruminating on some words which actors live by can help shift and goose up your energy. For example, actors live by the principles of curiosity, flexibility, choice, imagination, unlimited belief, increased empathy, and joy in feeling fully alive. We're like kids who get to play all the time, right? But in great depths of wisdom. So in our time together, I'll take you through some more of my philosophy here and arm you with a couple of tools and ideas that can bring that philosophy, to you in a tactile way. So most of the time, an actor is asked to embody somebody else who maybe is usually feeling very differently than that person is feeling. And in order to accomplish this kind of state in a true manner, because the audience can always tell if it's not really true inside the actor, they must indeed actually change their state. And Tony Robbins talks a lot about changing your state and how that is the key to everything. But so a lot of people have the impression, and rightly so, that acting is pretending, right? Pretending to feel something, convincing us that they feel it. But actually, actors worth their salt do feel what they are living and what we're watching them live. So this gets me very excited because it's the reason why it's really good news for you. Because when we're up against the many challenges that life and work present, which bring up the hesitation, the fears, the limiting beliefs, it is always possible to create your own shift. And many people approach this by trying to tell themselves to shift, right? You might know exactly what you want to shift to and you're telling yourself to do it, but words by themselves aren't the things that teach. You have to have the experience, the emotional experience to create the shift. And this is what actors know how to do.
So you can't just have this general idea of what it might feel like to do the shift. You have to embody it as though it's already real. Am I hearing you?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So I think, there's resistance when we're trying to do the things that we want, even the things we want to do, right? The challenging action items that we deem are necessary to meet our personal growth or leadership goals, the items like important phone calls or a tough interview, a tough conversation or challenging conversation that you might want to have. What always comes up is, the crisis of confidence and the fear of rejection and the fear that we won't be heard right, or we're going to sound like other people, all the things that crop up, everything our minds do to try to protect us, right? And a lot of times we stay in that freeze mode, or we try to change it and it actually increases the thing that's happening inside us emotionally. We run to do anything else at all, right? But the antidote that I'll show you here is always available to you. It's an actor's tool, and it will not fail to return you to what I call the center of your hurricane, where the noise may still be there, but it's on the outskirts and you're in the center where the noise has fallen away. And that place is really the place of your pure presence. And that spot is the goal to get to, because my belief in how I live and work in the world and the experience has been that we're as free and empowered and influential only as we are present.
Right.
And actors are masters at gaining access to that place of radical presence in themselves. And then it's from that place that you can really live in a compelling state, because it's a truthful one.
Okay.
And from that place, your authentic energy can really resonate.
Yeah.
And then whatever experience it is that you're inviting someone into, whatever conversation, that person can't help but feel more connected. They may not even know why, but they feel more heard. They feel listened to, because you have achieved a state of much more grounded presence.
Right.
And, in that state too, it automatically solves a lot of the problems that come up. This thinking about what others are thinking, or lack of confidence, that those spinning wheels of thought and action that do the opposite of grounding you. But this is a calm state. And in that state, you attract to you, and the sense of forcing or trying kind of falls away. So the first thing, this is kind of a 1-2 punch exercise. And the first thing is it's an exercise you can do anytime you want, to be more present and free and grounded in your own emotional state. And that's, again, where the best listening can occur, not only to other people, but to yourself, to your own thoughts that are coming up beneath the noise, the thoughts that you're supposed to get in accomplishing what you want to do in life. So the exercise is called calling your conditions. And when I say condition here, a condition is an emotion. Right. And emotion is really the currency of actors. I think emotion in life is our most powerful tool, okay, I think, with which to express and steer our lives. And I believe that for the most part, as humans day to day, we tend to live under the influence of our emotions. Right. And lack a little bit, not for lack of trying, but a working conscious relationship to what's actually happening inside us and how to leverage it as a good tool. We tend to, they come up, the difficult ones come up, we push past them, we push them down, we deal with them, right? Go around them. But the more we do that, the more we lose touch with that core personal power and the core personal presence and ability to be really present. So in this exercise, you're simply standing and calling your emotions moment to moment to bring yourself to that grounded place. And it's not about getting all emotional, but it's about recognizing all that's happening within you, because under any one emotion are 10 others, and it brings consciousness to everything that's happening. So I can demonstrate a little bit, or I can just say what the exercise is. But it's fun and it's interesting because it's simple, but it's not as simple as you think. But it really creates this muscle of being in touch with what you're feeling.
Yeah, give an example. Would love that.
Okay, cool. So I'm just going to connect with you. You don't have to do anything but observe, and I'll show you. So you stand up, and you can do it in the mirror with a partner, with a group. Eye contact is key, and you just are where you are. So call my conditions: happy, excited, nervous, silly, girlish, silly, lost, stupid, sad, worried, anxious, grounding, correcting, grateful, calm, relaxed, sad, excited, connected, curious, strong, curious, hungry, excited, giddy, nervous, silly, grateful, pissy, frustrated, lost, bare, willing, connected, strong. And then you can go to the person and say, what am I getting from you? And I'm looking at Kristen and whoever's there, and I say, curiosity, support, encouragement, willingness, openness, presence, love, encouragement, connection, friendship, wisdom, knowledge, strength. And then you can go on and on until you feel the shift. And then you say, how does that make me feel? Okay. Psyched, grateful, enthusiastic, inspired, right on time, loving, excited, willing, energetic, present. And you can go and go and go, but it is wonderful to just accept where you are, to let it flow, and then be influenced by what the other people are giving you, be changed by that.
Yeah, and then arrive embodied communal word association. Like,
oh my God, yes.
Yeah. It let the freedom that can come especially for your work in terms of leadership's always communal. Like, you can't, you both need to lead yourself, but also within the context of community. And so to be able to do this exercise, which it has to be trust-based. I mean, my gracious, like, it either builds on an existing trust or begins the process of trust with this kind of emotional disclosure, I'd imagine. Mm-hmm. It's fun. I can see how it'd be really fun to see people be really uncomfortable and then give into it too.
Yes. And I do intimate in-person workshops where in small groups we do this work, and everyone just has the most incredible experience just being and experiencing these shifts.
Yeah.
And the people in the chairs watching the person on stage often get more than the person who's up there, because we see everything.
Yeah.
We see the fear come up, and then that person then gets mad that they're feeling fear because they're up there feeling fear in front of someone, and we see them try to cover it. We see everything else that comes up, and it's internal breakthroughs and clearing the way of all the crap to be able to arrive at those moments, and everybody gets the gift. And it's just like, and you come out of there feeling like you've had this emotional massage and release, and you feel like you find out you feel like yourself, maybe for the first time, is sometimes experiences in these exercises. But it really helps you allow and give permission to all of the possibilities in yourself. And then you've got your hand on the wheel, and you can choose what you want to feel from there. It really eases self-judgment, which is, I think, the most limiting thing of all, because anything you're feeling, the real lesson is that that's what you're going to be getting from other people. And if you're looking to, increase empathy and increase knowledge of other people and connection, getting that for yourself is the only real way you're going to be able to connect to others in that way. So it's just one of my favorite things to do. And you can go on and milk it and add sounds and start singing songs. And it's like, it's just awesome. But it puts you in touch with your own authentic life force. And the exchange out in the world is vastly different than it would have been. But quickly, the next thing that you can partner with this as a 1-2 punch is something called the 5 questions. And this is something that actors do when they receive a scene or a script. It's really how they build the house, the structure of the house, which they then go play in. Okay. And it's very simple. It's title of the scene. Who am I? Who am I talking to? What do I want? And what am I doing to get it? So for instance, you can do this before any interaction that you know about, right? I did one for this call. I titled it The Power Powwow. I said, I am an uplifting friend and educator. I'm talking to a kindred friend and group of fellow go-getters. I want them to feel empowered in a new way. And what am I doing to do that? I am turning the light on. So this works with, partners, colleagues, your children, and just like the calling conditions, it helps you find your center, because you've gotten very specific with like an energetic roadmap, and it increases your presence, which then allows inspired flexibility within the structure that you've made. So it sets you up for discoveries, most of all, and the best kind of results. So like in another example one, like say you're an entrepreneur who's having an effort to win a new client, right? And say, I structured it like this. I said, the title is The Closing Call, right? This is something that we might be experiencing. Who am I? I'm a successful financial advisor who adores helping her clients. I'm talking to a widow in bereavement who's not thinking or feeling clearly in the clouds. What do I want? I want her to feel taken care of. I want her to feel relief, comforted. I want her to feel confident in me, right? And so what am I doing to get it? To smooth the way, or to soothe, or to ingratiate. You can pick these. And it's really fascinating. You can change one, and the emotional tone will adjust and inform everything else. So, and you want to write it how you want to speak this how you want it to be, right? So if a title like The Closing Call brings up resistant feelings, you shift it in your favor and everything will shift. So choose instead a title, instead of The Closing Call, choose The Heart to Heart, right? That energetically shifts everything already. Or The Breakthrough. Then it's not like the closing call that we all have to do sometimes, right? Yeah. Maybe who you are is like the person they didn't know they needed. Right. That changes you from that changes it from being a sales call in every single way, or you're this person's long lost friend.
Yeah.
It helps shape how you want to feel. And then it shapes your objectives and your tactics, which helps you find where you can relate.
Yeah.
Which is the core of your work, certainly it's the core of everyone's work who is looking to be a human in the world doing good things. And it also helps you bring consciousness to the questions you're asking and to ask better questions. So those two things together can really act like an arrow for you getting in touch with yourself, and then the influence that you have on the world.
As you're talking, the thing that just keeps coming back to my brain is that all of this is about intentionality. And back to what you said earlier, like a lot of people just think actors like just show up and pretend to be somebody. What we don't realize is the amount of incredible preparation that goes into being an actor in every scene, like the good ones, as it were, and even the mediocre ones prepare a lot, like it takes a lot of preparation to be somebody else. And in a very real way, it takes a lot of preparation to be ourselves too. And we skip over that step so often. We pretend like we know how to be ourselves, but we don't really. We've not been given the opportunity in most cases to really learn how to be ourselves. And so much of all these exercises that you just said are like the slowing down and taking time to show up as the self you want to be and create an environment for success towards that self. It's so, it's such a fascinating and completely correct, but fascinating take on how to human. How to human.
Indeed.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, I want to be mindful of our time, which you've already been so generous with. And as we're kind of, wrapping up, and as people are hearing this, it's the end of 2021. And, we're starting to think, hopefully we've already been thinking about what we want for 2022. Even as you and I talk about it in August, like we're looking at Q4, and most of us are already thinking about Q1 of 22. So what's kind of one thing you would leave people with from your toolbox as they think about the future?
I really think it's very important in this moment of time to feel as good as you can possibly feel. And to find the good in what's happening. We can look around, it's so easy to see and get taken in by the negative part of everything that's occurring.
Yeah.
I think everything is shifting for tremendous good and out of tremendous necessity. And it's a time to choose optimism and what's possible here. And if another thing that actors are a master of is focus. And what you choose, focus is always a choice. What you're choosing to see and focus on is what will influence what becomes next. And you do that from an emotional place. So if you're feeling as good as you can, if you're seeing the best that you can in all that's around you, you're going to feel empowered, and your brain and your heart will be clear to get the information that you're best going to get to make your best difference. So if you just practice that conscious relationship and conscious possibility mindset, I know that you will have a very important influence on 2022 and beyond that you won't even realize, like invisible cosmic ripple effects out and about. And most of all, you will feel better in your life.
I'm here for invisible cosmic ripple effects. That sounds like a win. So I will take it. Amelia, thank you so much for joining me. This has been a fascinating conversation that I know I'm going to be thinking about for a really long time after we've had it. Folks, if you want to get a hold of Amelia, good news for you. All of the links are below in the show notes. And I know that she is eager to talk to you about anything that she talked about today. If you enjoyed this conversation, good news, I have a lot like it. So I get to talk to folks from all over the place. Perhaps you have heard of this band BTS and you don't know what it is. I talked to somebody about what they are. Maybe you've always wondered what it was like to be a professional magician. I talked to one of those. So please go ahead and go back through the archives. And if you like my vibe, which I mean, it's pretty awesome. But if you like my vibe, please subscribe to the channel. We have content that comes out almost every day, but multiple videos a week, helping you human better. And we'd love to have you join us. So ring the bell, do all the YouTubey thing. Amelia, thank you again for joining me.
Thank you, Kristen. It was a highlight of my entire week.
Feeling is mutual. Friends and neighbors, I am Dr. Kristen Donnelly. My guest is Amelia Felbinger, and I will see you next time on Welcome to My World.